So after 2 terms, he says, I'm not running again. I'm getting on that horse. I'm going back to Virginia in my beautiful house, Monticello, and I'm going to live the life of a farmer. So he did. And that's where his story takes a turn in historical circles, because was it then that he had his relationship, or was it before that? Was it all this time that he had his relationship with Sally Hemings?
Let me just say, as we enter this field of horrors, that we don't know 100% certainly that he was involved with Sally Hemings. No, I believe it, he was, and the circumstantial evidence is huge, but it probably would not hold up in a court of law. The DNA has shown that at least one of Sally Hemings' children was the progeny of a male Jefferson. Not necessarily this Jefferson. It could have been his uncle or his brother, but let's face it, we're pretty sure that this was Jefferson. So when did this start? Jefferson went to France in 1784, and he took with him 2 people, his daughter, Martha, and an enslaved man named James Hemings, same family. While they were in Paris, Jefferson sent James to culinary school. He wanted him to learn French cuisine. It was typically Jefferson. He paid for this and paid for clothing and tuition and so on. And James quickly learned French, and he did become a master chef. More on that in a moment. So meanwhile, Jefferson has 2 daughters back in Virginia staying with their aunt and uncle, and one of them dies of teething and whooping cough. So Jefferson gets very concerned, as you might expect, and says, I want Mary, to be sent over to join us here. I insist. And so she was sent over. He wanted an elderly Black woman to be the chaperone, someone who had had smallpox. And for reasons that have never been explained, his kin sent his 9-year-old daughter with 14-year-old Sally Hemings, sister of James Hemings. So here's a 14-year-old chaperone leading a 9-year-old Virginia girl across the Atlantic Ocean to catch up with her father. They got first to England, and Abigail and John Adams met them there. And when Abigail saw Sally Hemings, she thought, this can't be good. And maybe she just meant she's too young, but she was alarmed. So Sally Hemings, at the age of 14, comes to live with Jefferson in near the Champs-Élysées in Paris. And it's thought that the relationship began there. And under some accounts, she was pregnant when she came back. But here's what's so interesting about this, more interesting than the salaciousness of this story, Megyn. James Hemings and Sally Hemings, at some point in France, discovered that they were free, that France outlawed slavery. And under French law, if they claimed it, they would be protected because Jefferson could not own them in France. And they came to Jefferson and confronted him and said, I'm sure you're aware of this. Why should we go back to Virginia with you? We're free. Why would we go back to be enslaved at Monticello? And according to Sally Hemings' son, who gave a report in Ohio in around 1873, Jefferson said, look, here's the deal. If you come back with me, James, and teach somebody else French cuisine at Monticello, I'll free you, and I'll give you some startup money, and you can go north to wherever you might wish to go. And he did. He said to Sally Hemings, according to her son, if you come back, any children that you have, and I don't think he was presuming that they would be his, but if you come back, any children that you have, I will free when they're 21 years old. And he did. So this bargain, odd though it might seem to us, occurred in Paris when James and Sally Hemings confronted the future third president of the United States, and said, you don't own us anymore. And so the story could have played out in a number of ways. They could have stayed in France.
It's so hard to imagine that somebody being told you're free wouldn't say, I'm going to stay free. I'm not going back to the United States, and my kids are going to be free from the moment of birth and not enslaved 0 to 21 and then free thanks to you. It's just such a different time and so hard to understand, though we must try. Short on gift ideas for people? Well, not everyone wants the new iPhone 240, whatever number they're on. In fact, a hard economic year for most has caused essential gifts to be more needed and wanted than ever. Fortunately, you can easily give an essential gift this year, and that is delicious meat. Good Ranchers has gift boxes and gift cards so that you can give America's best meat and seafood this Christmas, and you should. With discounts on orders of 5 boxes or more, you can save on gifts for the whole family or your business. With 100% American USDA prime and upper choice cuts of beef, chicken, and seafood, you are sure to beat out the new socks and regifted candles for the best gift of the year. Head on over to goodranchers.com. Use the code Megyn, MEGYN, at checkout for $35 off your delicious gift of meat. If you know someone that likes meat, then you know someone who's going to love Good Ranchers. Your gift goes farther with them because they take the premium price out of premium meats. Go to goodranchers.com and find the perfect box for you or a loved one in their curated selection of hand-trimmed meat and seafood. Give the best meat in America, support local U.S. farms, and get $35 off your essential gift with my code Megyn today. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.